Well, hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I want to welcome you guys to the Confidence to Close. We are working on our fourth day in the challenge where I'm taking you guys through the 7 key and most important areas of your sales process. And today we're working on the follow-up process. Now, this is going to be a short one, but it's actually going to be really, really valuable, and I'm going to tell you why. And a part of the the sales process that I think a lot of people miss on is the follow-up process. And the biggest reason why a lot of folks fail at the follow-up process is because just that, you don't have a process. And in today's lesson, I'm going to walk you guys through a really good follow-up framework that you can follow, that you can implement into your business today or into your pipeline today, that's going to help you first and foremost nurture your clients, get them to know, like, and trust you, follow up in a more professional way, but follow up in a way that adds real value, that moves the needle and the ball forward. Okay. Remember, I've always said this: in your sales process, you want to think two things. You want to think advancement and clarity, right? How do I get clear on where we are, right? How do I get clear on where me and the customer are? Are we aligned? Okay. And number two, what do I need to do to advance the sale to the next step? And your follow-up process is everything in that. And I'm going to do my very best to help you guys understand the follow-up process and how it can help increase and improve your close rates over the life of your sale. Now, let me first start by saying this. If you are not following up with your customer, you're leaving money on the table. All right. You're leaving money on the table if you are not following up with your customer. It is vitally important that you maintain a relationship with your customer such that you can reach back out to them 1 day, 24 hours, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, so on and so forth, and continue developing that relationship until you get an answer from the customer. All right. You must work until you get an answer from your customer. And so today we're going to work on the follow-up framework, how to turn maybes into yeses without feeling pushy. All right. We're going to try to turn our maybes into yeses. We're going to try to turn our, hey, let me think about it. Let me run it by the marketing team. Let me run it by my CFO. Let me run it by the CRO before I can make a decision. We want to do our best to turn those responses into yeses without feeling pushy. All right. So take notes. This is a very, very important lesson. And I'm going to start with a story because it's very, very poignant. Very, very poignant. I had a client. They were a professional trainer, and they came to me and said, Justin, man, we have great calls. We have great relationships. It seems like everybody is excited and they're ready to get started with my program, and then crickets. And I asked him, I said, hey, show me your follow-up process. Well, first and foremost, I walk me through the phone call. Let's listen to the phone call first. Maybe there are gaps we can fill in the phone call. Well, the phone calls are great. Lots of rapport. We got a good process going. We closed the deal. And again, with health, wealth, and finance, people eat that stuff up. That's where we are today. And so when it comes to health, of course, you're going to get motivated buyers, motivated individuals who are ready to start. But then what happens after the call ends? Well, first and foremost, I encourage all of my students, if you sell a product, if you have a productized offer, you always get that credit card while you're on the phone. You do not have a client, you do not have a closed deal until you have charged that credit card. Okay. Until then, it's just a maybe. It's just a we'll think about it. All right. Get that payment on the phone. But if we can't get the payment on the phone, what we want to do next is go into a very robust follow-up. So then I asked my client, I said, hey, what's your follow-up process? How many times did you follow up with her? Well, she said she wanted to buy, so I just assumed she was just taking her time. So whose fault is this? Is this the customer's fault? Or is this your fault? Well, let me ask you this. Now who has the problem? Right? The problem you have to solve is two problems now. You got to solve the customer's problem and their physical health journey, and you got to solve your problem in understanding, i.e., why is this customer not paying their invoice or hasn't paid the invoice or hasn't given me a yes yet, and what's my follow-up process? What am I not doing correct in this process to move the sale forward? And so when he told me I did not follow up with the customer, I said, well, that's your problem. That's a process problem, right? We are busy. Americans work. We work a lot. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got baseball games, and we've got kids and extracurricular activities. We have side hustles, and we have a whole lot of things going on in our lives that sometimes certain things will fall through the cracks. And if you don't make yourself a priority in someone's life, especially when it comes to doing business with them, if you don't make yourself a priority, if you don't put yourself on the top of their list, you threaten the opportunity to close that sale. And so this framework helps you keep yourself top of mind throughout the sales process from click to close. So 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups. 5. 80% of sales. Only 2 out of 10 people will give you a yes on the first go around. So I want you to, if you're a new SDR, if you're a new account executive, if you're a business owner right now and you're selling something, think about it like this. 2 out of the 10 people you talk to are going to give you a straight up yes. Only 2. So remove any misconception that you're going to have this 50% close rate or 60% close rate on your call, especially if you're selling high ticket, complex solutions. You're going to get a very low on the phone close rate. Now, for those customers who do close, the 2 that do close, that 20% that do close, let's treat them well. Let's get them onboarded quickly. Let's make sure their experience is amazing. But for those 8 who don't, we got to put them into a pipeline, into a funnel that will hopefully get them from where they are to a closed deal. 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups. But less than half of sales professionals give up after just 1. Half of sales professionals give up after only 1 follow-up. Follow-ups done right don't annoy prospects. They add value and move the conversation forward. Follow-ups, if done right, don't annoy prospects. They add value and move the conversation forward. Sorry, I got to drink a Red Bull. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Great workout in the gym, by the way. So today, I'm going to show you how to make your follow-ups powerful, how to make them a powerful tool in your closing arsenal to help you close more deals, help you close them faster. Are y'all ready? Here's the agenda. Strap in. It's going to be tight. I'm going to try to get this done in the next 25 to 30 minutes. Why most follow-ups fail and how to fix them. That's number 1. Then you're going to learn that 7-step framework that drives deals forward. And I want you to copy this. Okay, I want you to copy this. If you want a copy of this, message me and I will send you a copy of this presentation. Number 3, how to implement this framework in your sales funnel. How you implement this into your sales funnel. And number 4, the tools and strategies to scale follow-ups without losing the human touch. Because remember, while we are in this age of AI, and while we're in this age of quick and fast, we don't want to lose the personalization and the personalized way we approach our customers. All right. So why do most follow-ups fail? Number one, I'm going to actually add one to this because I was guilty of this. Okay. I was very, very guilty of this. All right. I'm going to add a bonus. So stick with me here. The first one is a generic message. I'm just checking in. Hey, John, I'm just following up. Yeah, you're going to get ghosted. I'm going to ghost you too. Because here's what you're doing when you're just following up. Okay, think about it, man. You got a long day. You've just gone through 150 emails because if you're like me, your inbox is your to-do list. And so your to-do list is to clear these inbox tasks, right? And so here I've got this email that says, hey, John, I'm just following up. Now I got to think. Now I got to take 2 minutes to try to remember who the heck you are. I got to try to remember the call we were just on. Now I got to go back through my calendar and I got to try to remember you because you were a call on Monday and you're just now following up with me on Thursday. So now I've now had, let's see here, if I've got 8 calls a day, I've now had 24 calls in between yours, right? You get my picture? You get where I'm going? You know, as my son's mom says, you know, are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right. People are busy. People don't want to think. So the first message out is, I got to think about something. These generic messages, they don't add value. They make me have to think and do work. Now I got to type a response to you. Yeah, I don't want to do that. How about mistake number 2? Following up without addressing objections or offering any solutions. You send an email, it's a good email, and it's great, packed full of just information and the point of contacts and all of this good jazz. And it doesn't do anything for my day. It doesn't make my day any better. Mistake number 3, how about inconsistent timing? You waited too long. If we had the call on Monday and you're following up on Thursday, I've had 25, 30 calls in between that. Trust me, I've already found my solution. I've already found the solution. Trust me. And here's the bonus. Here's the bonus. Man, if you were like me and you're new to this game, and when I was new to the game, you're like me, you love to send those nice long recap emails, like with like 7 bullets. And it mapped out everything we talked about on the call, step by step. And here are the next steps. And here's the point of contacts. And it does nothing. It focused on the past, right? Those nice long recap emails focus on the past. They focused on what we did, not what we're going to do. Okay? So, 1, generic messages. 2, follow-ups are not addressing any objections or offering any kind of solution. And 3, they're inconsistently timed, or they're too long, or they wait too long. And number 4, as a bonus, the email is just too long and didn't add any value. And it focuses on looking backward and not looking forward. And so what's the fix for this stuff? What's the fix? The key principles to effective follow-up. Number 1, value in every interaction. You must add value in every interaction, every phone call, every DM, every text message, every email should be adding value, and it should be advancing the sale forward. Each follow-up should teach, solve, or clarify something for the prospect. If you are listening to this and you're writing this down, each follow-up should teach, solve, or clarify, remember clarity, something for the prospect. Number 2, momentum creation. It moves the conversation forward by building on previous interactions. And we're going to look at examples of this stuff, okay? Creates momentum, creates a swelling of momentum towards the close. Personalized solutions. Number 3, it addresses the specific pain point, not generic ones. You want to address the specific pain point. If you're good and you've been listening to and you were taking notes during your calls, you heard those objections, you heard those pain points, and now every single follow-up email that you have should, at least one of them should address a specific pain point. And so why does this framework work? It keeps prospects engaged by delivering value at every step. Notice I'm going to come back to that. We want to deliver value at every step. And guys, if you're liking content like this, by all means, if you're loving this content, please make sure to share it with your community, share it with your friends, spread this message. I'm sure there are tons of SDRs, tons of AEs, and business owners out there who have sales teams who need this information, okay? If you also find this valuable and you want me to help you install a framework like this in your business, help you walk you through this process, DM me. I would love to set up a call with you to go through it. All right, so keeps prospects engaged by delivering value at every step. It reduces hesitation by addressing objections before they stall the deal. All right? In some cases, in some ways, we want to reword this as it lowers resistance. And then it positions you as a trusted advisor who is helping them make the best decision. Okay? Sending an email like, John, I'm just following up, puts all the power and all the authority into the customer's hands. Remember, you're the doctor, you're the expert. Imagine if your doctor were following up with you and he was allowed to put HIPAA information into an email. God bless that we don't allow that. But let's say he was able to do that, right? Hey, John, I'm just following up with you on your recent visit about XYZ. Most of my patients who do these 3 steps, post-visit or post-surgery, experience, healing at this percentage. You want your doctor to add value to your day. You're the doctor, you're the surgeon. You've got the solution. So make sure that you're adding value at every single stage. So that you're always making sure that you're the authority throughout the sales process. Okay? Now, what does this 7-step follow-up framework actually look like? Okay? Step number 1, we want to thank plus next steps. And this is going to help reinforce key points and clarify next steps. How does it add value? It keeps momentum and it builds trust. Step 1 is thank the customer, and then you want to add next steps. And I'm going to give examples of what this looks like here in a second. Number 2, step 2, we want to address objections. We want to address objections. The purpose of this is to solve concerns early. Okay? Now, we shouldn't be here because if you're a great, skilled, practiced, well-versed sales professional, we've already addressed objections during our sales call or during our copy, our actual click-to-close process, okay? But this process, when you address objections, it builds credibility and confidence in the customer to help them close the deal. Step number 3 in this process is personalized refinement. Tailored solutions based on their feedback. Maybe you got a response in step 2 that now you're following up with a tailored solution based on their feedback. And in this step, it shows flexibility and attentiveness to the process. Step 4, you've gotten down to step 4. Now we got some social proof. John, I haven't heard from you. This provides relevant success stories, and it reduces the risk perception, improves and enhances the herd mentality. You guys know what I'm talking about. Step 5, we want to create urgency. Use time-sensitive offers or deadlines. This encourages timely decisions. Now this follow-up email is going to have an offer that is going to have a deadline. Hey, man, I got to have a decision by Thursday, or we're going to lose this promotion, or you're going to lose this price, or you're going to lose this margin, or whatever the case might be. Number 6, we want to handle final objections. Hey, is there any more questions I can answer? Reassure and clarify remaining concerns. Because, man, if we're getting this deep down, we're applying pressure now. We're applying pressure. We want to reinforce decision-making. This will be the best decision you've ever made working for us, working with us. We're going to give you this kind of result. And then step 7 is going to be long-term nurture. They've fallen out of your pipeline. They're not responding. They're giving you one-word answers. They're not getting on your calls. But this maintains engagement over time, and it positions you for future opportunities. A no today with consistent follow-up can be a yes next quarter. Step-by-step breakdown. Remember, the thank you plus next steps, you want to do this within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, you want to send this email. Example, hi, customer name. Thank you. Thanks again for meeting today. Here's a quick recap of what we covered, key point 1 and key point 2. Remember, we don't want to go into a long, extended recap. We don't want to focus on the past. Focus on the future. I've also attached a relevant source or a document, some kind of value that can help you make an informed decision. Let me know if you'd like to connect again on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Remember, guys, we don't want the customer to think, I've got enough things on my calendar. I've got enough things. I've got 5 more calls for the rest of the day. You put in the time, you put in the date, and if it works for me, I'll say yes. If it doesn't, I'll say no. Let's reschedule. And again, putting the ball back into your court, giving you the authority. How about addressing objections? Day 2 to 3 days later. 2 to 3 days later, we now want to address objections. You want to anticipate objections, maybe price, maybe timing, and proactively address them using client success stories or relevant data. Okay? Personalized refinement, day 5 through 7. You want to deliver a refined proposal, maybe an action plan, a demonstration based on their needs. Maybe you've actually, now you're sending them another demo. Hey, John, you had a question about a specific feature during our call. I went ahead and recorded this Loom video. And oh, by the way, I've attached the proposal and an action plan that maybe you guys can implement this into your business before you become a paying client. Value on top of value. And I'll say it again, nothing beats social proof. Nothing beats social proof. Day 7 to 10, you want to hit them across the head with, Natalie got this result. James got this result. Look at your competitor who I work with. They got this result. Share how similar clients overcame the same challenges and achieved measurable results with your solution. That is what you should be doing 7 to 10 days out. Again, we're now applying more and more pressure. And now 10 to 14 days after, you want to create urgency. And we want to use ethical urgency, right? Tie deadlines to limited availability, seasonal benefits, or outcomes tied to time. You're in B2B sales, let's get past federal buying. If you're in tech sales, let's get past the Q1 planning phase. Hey, this deal only lasts for Q1. We got to raise our prices. Right? So we want to create scarcity and urgency. And then 14 days after that, we want to just handle final objections. They're falling out of our pipeline. But you want to make sure you provide clarity for the prospect. Here's another example. Hi, I understand you had questions about this concern, maybe a pricing concern. I've outlined how we address this in key point 1, key point 2. We offer this finance program. We offer this kind of payment option. I got my hand in my face. Sorry, guys. Let me know if this clarifies a few things. I'd be happy to discuss next steps on a quick call for today or tomorrow. Something I want to add into this example, guys. Make sure that anytime you are sending out a follow-up, you add a call to action or a CTA, call to action, for a specific date and time. Remember, always don't leave the customer an option. Leave them an option to say yes or no, but give them an option nonetheless. Now, where does this follow-up fit in your sales funnel? Where does the follow-up framework fits in your funnel? Top of funnel educates and builds awareness through initial touch points. Your middle of funnel overcome objections and tailor solutions to their needs. And your bottom of funnel create urgency and address final concerns before closing. So your follow-up even has a top of funnel, middle of funnel, and a bottom of funnel approach. So you should have content ready for your customer at the top of funnel, those first couple of days after your touch point, the middle of funnel for that next week or so, and then that bottom of funnel for when they're for when they're 2 weeks out after your first initial touch point. Now, again, we're in 2025, so there should be no reason why you're doing these things manually. There should be no reason why you're doing these things manually. You should be using CRM tools to track your interactions and automate your reminders. You should have pre-built email templates for each stage of the framework. Remember, guys, system. There should be plug and play. And then you should have LinkedIn messages ready or personalized videos, which again, there's nothing better than what I'm doing right now. Personalized video have high, very, very high no like and trust factor. And this has high impact to your follow-ups. This adds an incredible impact to your follow-ups. So how do we measure success? All right. You measure success through tracking your open rate, your response rates, positive or negative, right? We want to track whether they're positive or negative responses. And then your conversion rates on those follow-up emails. How many people are you converting out of your follow-up pipeline? And then you want to analyze which touch points lead to responses or sales. Which touch points. Is it touch point 1? Is it the thank you phase? Is it day 1 or 2? Do I need to just nudge them? Or am I going deeper and deeper into my follow-up pipeline? Because if you notice your customers are all, if you're doing this follow-up correctly, and you notice your customers are all, following up with you or closing sales, a vast majority of them, a big majority of them are closing sales, a week or 2 later, then we know we have to truly analyze our messaging, right? We got to truly analyze the messaging and what we're doing on the call. Because now I think we have a call issue, and then we have a very low, know, like, and trust factor, okay? So that's a good way to gauge, hey, Justin, my follow-ups are not, I'm following up, but I'm finding that, customers are still waiting, a week or 2. You might have an issue with your call, and you might have an issue with your messaging that also kind of lowers that know, like, and trust. All right. Final takeaways. We can breathe. We're almost done. That didn't take long at all, like 20 minutes. I like these. Okay, final takeaways. Every follow-up should provide value and move the sale forward. I'm going to continue to reiterate that. Every follow-up should provide value and move the sale forward. Your follow-up should anticipate objections and address them before they stall the deal. If it's a money objection and you get that in a follow-up email or follow-up response, hop on a call and solve it. By the way, if you indeed do get an objection or you do get a response that is a concern, you always, guys, always, can we hop on a call now? Do you have time now? I just need 5 to 10 minutes. Do not schedule a call for a follow-up email they're sending to you right now for 2 days from now. Again, the complexity of the deal does matter. Okay, it does matter how complex the deal is. But if we're talking, high ticket, personalized solutions, for me, I'm a coach, right? Hey, Richard, you got time right now? I got time right now. I got 15 minutes right now. Let's solve this problem right now. I had a post yesterday that I posted to LinkedIn, and I reposted somebody else's post, and I basically said, if you want to solve a problem, I know it's 2025, we're not old school anymore, pick up the phone, and pick up the phone now if you want to solve a problem. And last but not least, the final takeaway is use urgency and trust building techniques to drive confident decisions. Urgency and trust building techniques, one-pagers, Loom videos, personalized emails. Everything should be personalized at scale as much as possible to build that know, like, and trust factor. Woo! We have reached the end. And I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy day to join me for Confidence to Close. Now, tomorrow, I'm coming to you tomorrow at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. tomorrow, okay? We're going to do 10 a.m. tomorrow. And we're talking mostly going to be about, again, more objection handling. And then I'm going to tease this one. Okay, I'm going to tease this one, all right? So if you guys come in tomorrow, I got a special one for you tomorrow. Now, check this out. If you're looking for help, guys, I know it's Q1 and Q1 is always brutal. Okay, it's brutal for everybody. All right. Q1 is planning phase. Q1 is, hey, we don't have the budget. Let's wait till Q2. I mean, there's so much going on in Q1. If you're struggling to get your pipeline going, if you're struggling just to get a foothold onto the quarter, and just looking for someone to help you strategize, my inbox is open to you. Message me. I'll love to book some time with you. If my LinkedIn family, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, go to my profile, book a call with me. I would love to get on a strategy call with you for about 15 to 30 minutes to talk about what your strategy is and how I might can help. If you're my Facebook family, hop in my DMs. And if you're on YouTube, head to the comments. I'll be glad to work with anybody that wants to work with me. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. You do not want to miss this one. Okay. Talk to you guys later.